Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I wanted to do a quick roundup of some news, rumours and around the verse relay recap in a quick summary. A functional ship shop has been added to the 3.3.0 PTU, and it does now look like we're going to have ships to purchase in-game in 3.3's persistent universe. The selection is limited though in the PTU at the moment anyway, and there's no console for you to buy from. You have to literally approach a ship and use the inner thought to purchase one. So no actual kiosk to purchase loads of different ships, very small limited amount. The ship shop is located in Delamar, Levski in Teach's shop. We don't know yet if we're going to have rentals in 3.3 as well. Prices range from 70,000 Alpha UEC for a Dragonfly up to 1.6 million for a Prospector at the moment. Other ships available were a Hornet, Auroras in fact, Cutlass, Tumbrel Cyclone and a Buccaneer. And there may be some others as well if I'm forgetting. When the servers went live with this feature, I saw dozens and dozens of ships and players descend and flock to Levski and land everywhere around the landing zone. It was like a festival with quite a low frame rate. However, even the low frame rate was still better with object container streaming than it has been in ages, it was pretty cool. It was very interesting to see. Some other random news, the Polaris and other appropriate ships will be getting a Hammerhead as their loaner in 3.3, so bear that in mind. Some interesting potential leaks from CitizenCon as well. Montoya and Batgirl have both reported that potentially there might be a Squadron 42 launch party at the end of 2019. It was sort of implied based on something Sandy said at CitizenCon 2018. Sandy apparently said to a backer that was asking about events next year that there'll be two next year, one in October for CitizenCon and one in December. This has led to some people assuming that it's a Squadron 42 launch party type affair. Seems possible with the roadmap getting added to Squadron 42 in December of this year, but it's still mega speculation and treated as such. Also, it could literally just be the holiday live stream she was talking about, or someone might have misheard what they said. But tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll link you Montoya's video down below as well. On to Around the Verse relay recap summaries. So they now have Mobiglass and kiosk item previews working. They should be polished in 3.3 when it goes live. They've also been working on splash screens for kiosk UIs for shops. Rest stops have auto turrets and will target high-ranking criminals, so be aware of that. There is a couple of competitions for Halloween that CIG are also putting on, a Star Citizen pumpkin carving contest, and a FOIP, Face Over IP, Most Terrified / Terrifying Face competition. So check out 3.3 on the PTU. It is available to all backers that have a game package now. The rest of Around the Verse was about the mission from CitizenCon that they showed in the keynote, sort of like vertical slice gameplay. And that's all going to be debuting shortly, the actual physical gameplay and all that we saw in 3.3.5. When that goes to PTU and then live. The mission shown to find the prototype tech from a crashed satellite is one of the new missions that will be coming to that patch. The mission can end in multiple ways as well. You don't always have to track the part down. It might literally just be in the satellite that you pull out early on after you inspect it. You might not have to go to that underground facility. Sometimes you'll find it at the site that you search for at, just around the area as well. Lots of other things might happen. The item that you're looking for might fall out somewhere else, and you might have to track it down. It might be in a tree. It might be guarded by NPCs again, but in an outpost rather than the underground facility. And I think the joy of the missions on Hurston for me as well is that some of them are completely contained on the planet's surface, so you could literally do some of them without a ship. Just a ground vehicle, maybe. I mean, it might not be the quickest or most efficient, but it's doable, and that's interesting. Hurston is a planet that has been heavily abused by Hurston Dynamics. It's polluted, been bombarded from space to test weapons, and they've just treated the planet really poorly. There's bad air quality, which I'm assuming affects your stamina when you're breathing. The air quality is much lower for that. So, although you can actually breathe without a helmet on. For the crashed satellite, they were going to use a convoy originally, but they made a whole new asset for it. It's built to be climbed as well, but not look too contrived when being climbed. So they don't want to have like, oh, it just so happens that bits of the satellite fell down in such a way that you could climb on it. It's more sort of like the actual shape of it is relatively climbable, it seems. The jump that they had in that gameplay demo that was actually failed twice by the player and caused the death of the player eventually. Actually had a lot of thought going into it as a little jumping puzzle that you can do. Even though there are crashes and a few things can go wrong, like players dying, they want to do the demos live still. They want to show that it's real. The little computer that had the boards on it in the satellite is a computer from a ship. And these are actually items that are going to contain computer blades, and did contain computer blades in this demo as well, that will actually be used for like controlling AI turrets, for example, in a later iteration of the game. It also begs the question, are all of the little blades and parts that you find around that sort of satellite, are they going to be lootable? Can I take multiple blades out and go, oh, you know, well, I can sell these have value. Will I be able to salvage things like this on planets eventually? Props have grip values as well assigned to them, so that basically tells your hands how to hold them. Like the computer blade, you can pick up items and inspect them, and you might want to inspect items because they might have valuable mission data on them. They might give you little secrets or info. They might allow you to do more to that item. So in the case of weapons, you'd look at a weapon, but you could put attachments on that weapon while you're inspecting it. You'll be able to inspect gear and items on the floor. Random objects might allow you some form of operation by inspecting them. You might open up the back of one, put some new batteries on, flick some switches, and you've got a little radar, or you can make coffee and drink coffee. The world is going to be extremely tactile. In the case of the mission that they showed, obviously you had to find a very specific component, so you needed to inspect the component to see if you actually had the correct one. But there might be things that are written on them that tell you other things as well, is what I'm saying. That crashed satellite prop as well that was in the Savannah, they actually started off by having a whole satellite and then breaking it apart. So they have the uncrashed satellite prop, effectively, and we will see these floating around planets, presumably Hurston, in the future. My radar have provided a new Anvil Valkyrie to give away. All you need to do is to be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen videos made during October. My radar is a mobile app for iOS and Android that provides up-to-the-minute weather information in the US, Europe, and Japan, with service in Australia coming in by the end of 2018. It allows Star Citizen players to view detailed maps of the moons in-game as well, Yela, Selin, and Daymar. A new version will be released this month that includes new features, including outpost markers and updated maps. Today's video is brought to you by F-Secure Total, premium cybersecurity for you and your devices. It includes Safe, an award-winning internet security suite, protecting you from ransomware, viruses, and while browsing the web. Freedom VPN, giving you net privacy, a way to access otherwise inaccessible content, while being secure and anonymous even on public Wi-Fi. Key, a password manager, allowing you to store your passwords securely and access them from any device. Total protects you and your device. You can try F-Secure Total, Internet Security and Privacy Suite free for 30 days. You can also use the code BoredGamer to get 20% off a subscription. Check out the links below for more information.